and welcome. I'm Old Man Poole. This is Ixalan Sealed League. Actually, the first one that I've done on Magic Online here, or the second one. First one I've recorded. So I guess I've done 2 Sealed Leagues in the format. I did 1 pre-release, and I've done 1 previously. But I am slowly working my way up to my first ever Grand Prix. I'm going to be at Grand Prix Phoenix, and the first whole day, and hopefully I'll make it beyond that, but the first day is indeed sealed, so I figured I should at least get a little bit of a handle on it. So, ordinarily I try not to look at the colors too much until we can look at them in depth, but I do notice a Gasath Sun's avatar over here, which sounds pretty sweet. He's cost 8, he's probably not actually all that great, but he's exciting. Let's go ahead and look at our rares real fast. I guess we would have seen him here anyway. Okay. Rares I feel like are often kind of a good starting point for a sealed deck. River's Rebuke is fantastic. So is Vanquisher's Banner, actually. I think this card is a real great source of card advantage. And if you really do have one tribe, or even reasonably close to one tribe with a couple other good cards, Vanquisher's Banner seems great. Sorcerer's Spyglass on the other side, not real exciting. I do like Dragon Skull Summit if you were in black-red. It does make your deck a little bit better. Conqueror's Galleon, I've been impressed. And I think it's actually going to be pretty powerful in sealed as well, just because the games tend to go a little bit longer, and the card advantage that it gives you is pretty real. Let's go ahead and look at our colors here. So ordinarily I pull kind of the best cards in each color out, and kind of put great cards and playable cards, and I kind of leave everything else up top. But that may actually not be the best way to do it in this format, considering it's so tribal, and not all white cards necessarily work in the same deck. Like, I don't know, what's a good example? Like, Encampment Keeper is probably like borderline playable if you're in Vampires, but probably not really anywhere else, for instance. But let's take them down, and we'll do kind of our best. Looming Altasaur is not exciting, but okay. Glorifier of Dusk is pretty good. It's been a little bit less impressive than I thought it would be in the format, but still reasonable. It's a 4/4 for 5 that gains some pretty powerful abilities if you do have the life to throw around. Although the life is sometimes pretty significant. Inspiring Cleric has been pretty good, I think. So is Vampire Zeal. And Shaman Keeper, I guess, is like grudgingly playable. So we probably won't end up playing white. We just don't have a ton of cards in white. We have some good ones, but just we're not very deep at all. Okay, blue Dive Down is playable. I think I'd play 1, probably not more than that. One with the Wind is potentially pretty good. Aerialist I like a lot. One with the Wind is interesting because you really want to have the Jade Guardian. You should have a couple of them. And I think it's really best when you're in Merfolk. You can just try and beat down, but if your opponent's got a removal spell or a bounce spell, you feel pretty bad. Okay, Lookout's Dispersal, pretty reasonable in Pirates, and pretty much unplayable outside of that. But if you have a decent number of Pirates, the counter or your opponent pays 4 is pretty expensive. I don't know, I guess maybe it's grudgingly playable outside of Pirates, but it really is best if you can do it for a 2-mana counterspell. Sailor Mean's fine. I've liked Water Trap Weaver a fair amount. Cancel, grudgingly playable. Sentinels, I guess grudgingly playable too. Runnerground's fine. Windstrider's fine. Elemental's pretty good. River's Rebuke's pretty good. Okay. So, some pretty high, like, top end on blue. River's Rebuke is just an absolute bomb for sure. Air Elemental's great. Water Trap Weaver, Aerialist. And then a bunch of kind of like, sort of okay, not real exciting cards. Blight Keeper, don't love. Bloodcrazed Paladin, I'm also not real high on. I played against this card a couple of times, actually I haven't played it myself, and it's just never seemed real stellar. My opponent makes like a 2/2 flash a lot of the time, and maybe a 3/3, but you have to leave mana up for it. It just seemed kind of awkward, and the payoff's not real high. I guess maybe it's a playable, but not an exciting one. These guys are all fine. Lots of Dire Fleet Hoarders, which is actually a little bit significant because that can help us splash a lot. Deadeye Tormentor I like, but I'm not in love with. Same with Queen's Base Soldier. Sometimes you just need more vampires for your vampires-ish deck, and Queen's Base Soldier definitely fits with that. I like the Bloodletters quite a bit. They're maybe just well positioned in the format, but they felt a lot better than your average Windrake, and I've been impressed with most of them that I've played. Mark the Vampire, I guess sometimes up there, sometimes lower. Ooh, wow, 3 contract killings is a real big pull into black, though. And the splash potential there is pretty powerful, too. So we have some, like, kind of medium early drops for black, and 3 contract killings is kind of our selling point there. I think black looks decent. Dual shot, I think, is playable. Oops. It is not blue, though. Frenzied Raptors are fine. Headstrong Brute, fine. I think I will play Rummaging Goblin and Sealed. Okay, not a ton red here. Okay. Rather not play Hijack unless we see a really great opponent option. Okay, let's look at our green here. Our green seems to be the deepest color by a fairly wide margin. Do like Commune with Dinosaurs if you've got dinosaurs. And it does find your lands, even if you're just kind of like looking for fixing, can be okay. Like Diviner, Branch Walker's quite good. Real Herald's boon varies from fine to quite good as well. In Merfolk, I think this card's just fantastic. If you can get it like half the time I think you'd play it, you really are looking to play a lot of Merfolk, because if you're just throwing 1 counter around, it's just not as impressive. Walker, good with Explorer cards. Blossom Dread, pretty unexciting ramp. Crash the Rampart's also fairly unexciting. A couple of New Horizons. Daggertooth, Wayfinder, Jade Guardians. Okay, I like Sailback quite a bit. Grazing Whiptail. Actually, it might even be up here. This card's been impressive to me in the format. Colossal Dreadnoughts. Those are nice. I think they do gain a little bit of value in Sealed just because they're big, powerful threats, and I think big, powerful threats have a little bit more advantage when your opponent can't necessarily put together quite as fast to start. Dire Fleet Captain I think is quite good, although our red and our white I think are almost just straight up out. There's just so few playables. Call to the Feast, quite good, but sort of the same problem. Our white's just a little bit light. Gishath, Sun's Avatar. I really do kind of want to play it, but it might just be bad. I mean, it's even foil, like the dream here, guys. This is the dream. I just don't have tons and tons of dinosaurs. Like, almost nothing in white. We're playing red. We have a couple of Frenzied Raptors and a Sun-Crowned Hunters. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, maybe we find like 1 extra or 2. But he costs 8. He requires lots of splashing. I think the Sun's Avatar is just out. That does break my heart a little bit, though. Let's see what we got in the way of our equipment here. There's definitely some good equipment in this set. Vanquisher's Banner. I think we'll probably make the deck if we can get together a decent tribe, although I'm not looking super tribal. I think it's probably still okay, though. Conqueror's Galleon, good. Sleek Schooner, playable. Like Pirate's Cutlass a lot. I think you'll play that in most decks. Don't love Pillar of Origins unless you really are playing Dinosaurs Tribal, more or less. It is pretty powerful in Dinosaurs Tribal, though. Gilded Sentinel. Yeah. Okay. So, stuff. I think let's pull out our red and our white, because I think it's just pretty unlikely that either of those end up being in our main deck. Just not very many playables. And even though green is kind of deep, yeah, I don't know, I guess maybe green's deep enough that we could justify pairing with one of those two if we thought the power was really great. But, like, nothing in white is just, like, nuts. There's some good, like, above average cards, but nothing that really pulls me in. Likewise with red, some, like, reasonable cards, but there's nothing nuts. So black's main appeal is the contract killing. That potentially could let us splash for other powerful effects. I guess like Legion's Judgment is probably best there. Stormfleet Arsonist there. Not a ton to splash for. I guess Sun-Crowned Hunters is kind of big game. Burnt Rebirth is actually okay too. I should pull that down. It's not great, but I think it is playable. I think we're definitely green. Like I said, we're just very got a lot of green cards. Jungle Delver actually is maybe borderline playable too. Sealed, it gets a little bit better as well. The cost is pretty high on that card, but okay, maybe let's just look at our green curve here, because I think that might give us a good clue on which direction to go. I'm leaning towards black just because of all of the contract killings. Mark the Vampire with the what's the card? Jade Guardian is pretty hard to beat for a lot of decks, but we have some, like I said, some high-powered blue cards as well. So let's group our creatures out. Actually, this is a pretty nice looking curve. I don't think we're going to play Blossom Dryad. I've just been unimpressed with this card in general, and we're going up to 6, but we are stopping there. Have a couple of 3 Explorers, I guess, for Wild Growth Walker. If we explore once, it's quite good. Less than that's kind of exciting. How many Merfolk do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's actually pretty good with Jade Guardian. So I think we'd probably play the River Herald's Boon. Verdant Rebirth. Guess has some Explore triggers, some Enrage triggers. Probably okay, but not exciting. New Horizons. Probably wouldn't play more than one of, but maybe we'd play one. Help us ramp up. We have some dinosaurs, but not tons here, which makes Commune with Dinosaurs sort of a land fetch, with some light upside in the late game. Let's look at how our black looks. I don't think I'm going to play Bloodcrazed Paladin. I think that card just seems bad most of the time. Our green is so deep though, we're already at like 19 playables there. Which means we can be a little bit picky with what we want to play, which is nice. The 3 contract killing just seems like a pretty reasonable upside though. We're up to 30 playables there. Means we can definitely trim down some of our fat, some of the less exciting cards, which would be nice. Playing blue, we get River's Rebuke, which is just straight up bomb, and maybe that's worth considering. I would splash for the contract killing. They're very good at setting up other contract killings if you can play one, but it'd be pretty tough. We'd probably need to play New Horizons, and actually probably Blossom Dryad too. So if we play blue, we have no removal, right? We have a couple of counter spells, a run aground, River's Rebuke. We could maybe try and splash for this. It's pretty hard though. Double blue is... I mean, this is like... This game, if you can... This card, if you can cast it, pretty much reads you read the game. Goodness, I'm struggling. Pretty much reads that you win the game when you cast it, but like I'm not sure that it's going to justify being better than 3 contract killings. I kind of feel like that's what it comes down to here, because plus our green is so deep, we can kind of shore up the deficiencies of the other color. It's like River's Rebuke and Air Elemental in blue, and then some 2-drops, contract killings. I wonder if this deck wants Cobbled Wings. I guess these have Trample. Don't have a lot of tricks. I think we do need the contract killings. Okay, well, I think we're gonna keep the black. Maybe that's a mistake. River's Rebuke is like basically reads win the game when you cast it. But double blue is just tough. We could play the New Horizons, and I mean, I guess we could do that and like play multiple copies of our Unknown Shores. Doesn't feel all that exciting though either. Unknown Shores is just such a bad card if you need a color. Yeah, okay, let's see. So I think all of our spells, I think we might actually cut the New Horizons. Verdant Rebirth might just not have quite enough utility. Maybe we'll bring it in if my opponent's super... Well, I don't know. If we trade off a card, it comes back to the battlefield, return to its owner's hand. So it's kind of a divination plus, right? Because you get a card back, you get a little bit of value. I kind of want to play out Verdant Rebirth. Part of this is trying to learn the value of some of the different cards, right? I think I'll try that. I don't think I'm going to play Jungle Delver. I think it's just kind of unexciting most of the time. Well, it's true. Where's our equipment? Oh, over here. Oh man, I forgot about these guys. We need to bring them in as well. Potentially Banner. Probably not Sleek Schooner. In fact, I'm just going to take it out now. This is a worse version of the Cutlass. Alright. So a couple more things to add down here. do we have something that's exciting enough to make banner good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dinosaurs, 4 pirates, 5 pirates, 1, 2, 3, 4 merfolk. Well, we're kind of all over the place there, aren't we? Yeah, maybe we're just not quite together enough for Vanquisher's banner to be all that great. It is powerful. If you can draw a couple of cards off it and pump some things, it's pretty great, but we don't. I just don't know how much. Like, we're playing all the tribes, right? We've got pirates, got merfolk, got dinosaurs, got vampires. I guess that's what you get when you play a black-green. Just kind of an odd assortment. I think we are going to take out some of these 2s. Maybe Direfleet Hoarder's not that exciting right now. We're not splashing for anything. I just don't know what's worth splashing. Maybe like 1 with the wind. I mean, I guess we have a decent number of making random treasures. Maybe we are okay splashing the River's Rebuke. If we play a couple of more Direfleet Hoarders. That and the contract. That's true, contract killing splashes that so well. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Yeah, I think I will. Probably not Air Elemental. I think just the 1 splash. And actually contract killing. I'd forgotten that this gives us 2 treasures straight up. So I think that that's okay. Alright, so we have too many playables, which is not a bad thing, certainly. I guess what do we want to cut down on? Probably want to cut a spell or 2. We could play 16 lands and commune with dinosaurs. I think that sticks around. Maybe Crash the Ramparts just isn't all that efficient. It's probably worse than Pirate's Cutlass most of the time. How many merfolk do we actually have for River Herald's Boon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe only 4. Yeah, maybe the boon just isn't all that exciting then. It is nice because we could potentially pump up Jade Guardians, which is pretty powerful, but we're not going to have tons and tons of targets for it a lot of the time. So I think that bites it. Maybe we'll get rid of one of our Daggertooths, or maybe the Deadeye Tormentor. How are we winning this game? We're winning this game by going long, resolving bigger threats. Maybe I think Tormentor is better than the Daggertooth, though. I think, yeah, we'll do that. I think I do want all of our top-end threats. They're a little bit expensive, but potentially we can kind of get up there with the contract-killing gold as well. Maybe Wild Growth Walker just isn't all that exciting. We can maybe sideboard it in, but we only have 3 synergies and 1/3 on its own. I don't think we would play. I think Desperate Castaways is better than Direfleet Horror. Maybe not, though. We don't have a ton. We have 2 artifacts, and one of them stops being an artifact pretty early. So maybe the Castaways is better, just to give us a little bit more ramp and get up into our slightly larger targets first. On the other hand, the 2/3 is not insignificant. But I think I maybe like the Hoarder a little bit better. I think I do want a good number of creatures to make use of River's Rebuke and the Conqueror's Galleon. I probably want to cut down another one of these. I don't like getting rid of any of our contract killings. I think I want Mark the Vampire because of how well it works with Jade Guardian. So yeah, maybe Crash the Ramparts bites it now. Maybe that's just not how we're planning on winning the game. Maybe Cutlass isn't all that exciting in this deck. Although I think that card is just kind of gas most of the time anyway. Maybe Burden the Rebirth. I did say that we kind of wanted to keep it. We need to cut one more thing though. I don't want it to be a creature, I don't think. I wonder if we want another... Yeah, this is just kind of situational. It kind of gets stuck in your hand a lot of the time, I think. I wonder if we'd rather have another 2 over one of the 3s. Like, get rid of the Dagger Fin. Maybe put in Wild Growth Walker. Or I guess probably a Direfleet Hoarder. Probably between those 2. I don't know if we're going to need 2 drops all that often. So maybe we can afford to be a little bit. Play a few more expensive cards. And we won't get too punished for it. Although Daggertooth just doesn't feel all that much better than something like one of these cards either. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play one more Direfleet Hoarder. Okay. That gives us a fairly solid curve. I'm going to play 16 lands because we have the Commune. I think that's okay. We don't have a ton of hits off Commune. It's mostly finding lands. But I think that's okay. The fact that we can keep it as a land early and then later on in the game potentially turn it into a spell is pretty powerful, even if it misses more often than it hits there. Okay. I'm not going to play any islands. Do I want to be heavier on green so we can play Commune? 7-9. We also have a bunch of double black, although contract killing is double black, and that kind of fixes our mana too. Maybe we'll go 8-8. Okay. I think the deck is pretty interesting. It's got some, like, a pretty good curve. It's got some pretty powerful effects. Definitely riding a little bit on our contract killings and the reverse rebuke. And maybe sorting up the Jade Guardian with either Pirate's Cutlass, Mark the Vampire, and the like. But I think the deck is pretty sweet. Can always get in there with the Conqueror's Galleon later on in the game too. That can give us a lot of value. I could definitely see a bunch of different ways to change like individual cards in this deck. So I'm not 100% this is the correct deck, so to speak, but I think it's a decent version. If you guys have any tips for me during the deck building, I'd love to hear them. I'll see you guys for match 1. Welcome back for match 1. This is Old Man Poole. We've won the die roll. We are playing first. Okay, pretty fine hand. A bunch of Dire Fleet Hoarders and contract killing. Maybe not the like most powerful hand in the world, but it's got lands and early drops. I like that. And it mulligans down to 6 right away, but then keeps and tops. So looks like we're not going to just run away with the game at least. With the 2-1 offensive. Okay, Scammer Bloodletter is a good draw there. Alright, red-white. So probably aggressive. He doesn't have a play though. And we're actually curving out pretty nicely here. We're going to throw this in if he's got something like Slash of Talons or even a dual shot. I really couldn't care. Yeah. Okay, let's play our Bloodletter. And look at us, the beatdown. That 3 damage on turn 3. Ooh, okay, Inspiring Cleric's a good one. Doesn't match up particularly well against the Hoarder, but pretty powerful card in general. Okay, we're gonna use the Branchwalker here and hope to find a land. We can play that and the Hoarder, which is kind of nice. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and swing with both of these here. If you'd like to trade, I'm okay with it. And if not, we're gonna have some 2-1s. So, I'm gonna play this. I think if he had Fiery Cannonade, well, I guess this actually doesn't even make me softer to Fiery Cannonade because it's a pirate. But I would think that he probably wouldn't have played the Cleric if that was his plan. But yeah, it doesn't even necessarily make me any weaker to that. Okay. Well, we can keep getting in with the flyer at least. Okay, River's Rebuke is going to get turned on by contract killing at some point. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to play this card. I was probably being a little bit dim with how good contract killing is at setting up a splash. But looks like it's going to work out. And we actually have a lot of power on board, so if he swings with a couple of threats, we consider just being aggressive. Alright, that looks like the target for our contract killing. So I could swing with this just to make a treasure. I was kind of hoping he'd swing into me. Could swing a bunch and offer to make a bunch of treasure. I don't want to kill that off this turn though. We want to trade multiple things. He's going to block like that and like just like that. We could swing with both. He blocks that. We give up one more Hoarder. No, because we're going to River's Rebuke and get rid of the Vampire token anyway, probably. So, we kind of 2-for-1 ourselves there, but we're setting up for a powerful effect going forward too. We need to play a Dreadmaw or River's Rebuke. Not quite to the point where Rebuke is like winning us the game. So maybe Dreadmaw is just better. Ooh, Rummaging Goblin. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get some value. On the other hand, let's go ahead and swing pretty much across the board. We're okay with all of these trades. And then we're gonna play a Colossal Dreadmaw. Okay. Interesting then. Oh, well, okay. I guess he just has one trick, so that's fine with me. Doesn't get crazy value, at least it's not on his token. And then we'll play a Dreadmaw. These Dire Fleet Horrors mean that eventually he's gonna have to trade one away and set up the Rebuke, so it's very possible that he's got a Legion's Judgment here. Nope, Brazen Buccaneers. And a Plains. Gonna just pitch it. I was gonna say, it's possibly has Legion's Judgment, because it's a common deck or card for this sort of deck. Ooh, wow, that's actually crazy good. So you can just play Mark of the Vampire, get in with Colossal Dreadmaw, and force a massive trade. He has to throw everything in front of it. My opponent goes down to 4. Yeah, that doesn't even feel that absurd. He throws everything in front of it, my opponent goes down to 2. Actually, that might be good enough. Maybe we won't have to use River's Rebuke. He blocks up. If he's got a trick, that's kind of bad. Kind of like just putting on the Bloodletter. It's probably a little bit more conservative, a little bit safer. This comes from a couple of different angles. They're still going to swing with everything here, I think. If he wants to trade for the Dreadmaw, that's fine with me. Alright, opponent concedes. Alright, so didn't have to show him the River's Rebuke that game. My opponent did mulligan down to 6, though, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. Looks like he's medium aggressive. Red-white generally feels kind of like a beat-down color, so maybe I want to bring in a couple more cheap effects. He did have a lot of 3-power attackers, though, and a lot of 2 toughness cards, so I don't know if like Wild Growth Walker is really what we want to be doing. But maybe like Desperate Castaways over one of our more late game cards, or like Daggertooths. Daggertooth might be better like Tormentor, for instance, when we're on the draw. We cut one of our top end cards. I don't think we want to. I think that's still how we're probably going to be able to punch through and win the game. And maybe Castaway still isn't all that exciting. Yeah. I don't know if we need 6 2-drops. I don't know if he was that aggressive. Alright. I think I like that. Well, I don't know. Maybe... Well, this is a better late game drop. I think it is going to be better than Deadeye Tormentor most of the time. Okay. A lot of consideration there for something that probably didn't end up changing the deck too much, but I think it is a slight change for the better. Okay. A little bit awkward. I think we are going to keep... we have our mana. I do want to find at least one more creature so we can use the Conqueror's Galleon to effectively block. Ideally a 2-drop here. Lands would be bad. No lands. Darn it. It's the curse. Maybe that's the way Magic Online works. Maybe when I like shout at the screen to give me lands, it gives me lands because I'm just saying the word land. So maybe I just have to like never mention it if I don't want them. So yeah, I'm just not going to say anything. Oh dear. Maybe I've been talking about it too much. Oh dear. This hand does look pretty bad if we don't find a little bit more gas. Well, on the other hand, my opponent's super slow here, so... Well, I guess that lets us crew the Galleon. Alright, let's play our Scammer's Bloodletter. That guaranteed value, though. My opponent has like a Lightning Strike, which he did not. Yeah, definitely a slow start from him. Crazy. Maybe he took a kind of questionable keep, too. Definitely not going to drop Mark of the Vampire here. That feels how you lose the game. Can't use the Cutlass real effectively, so I guess we'll swing and play the Galleon. Next turn, play Pirate's Cutlass and maybe swing with this. I guess lots of lands is good with the Galleon, for what that's worth. What an odd play. What's my opponent have? Just tons of interaction? Or just tons of land? And a 5-drop? Oh, okay, charging monster is pretty good. Yeah, that's scary. Colossal Dreadnought does a pretty good job of answering that, assuming he doesn't have a great response. So I can play and equip the Cutlass with the intent of using this as a blocker. We can just play Mark the Vampire and get in there. If he's got a response to that, that feels kind of bad. We can also swing and just flip this. We go down to 11. Play Dreadnought next turn. I think I'm just gonna play the Cutlass and plan accruing the Galleon. So definitely a kind of slow, awkward way of getting this this ship into the water, but at least we have that option now. Opponent can't kill in response or anything. I guess if he's got something that kills the Conqueror's Galleon, we get kind of wrecked. But it would have to be at instant speed. Okay, Shining Aerosaur. Reasonable, certainly. Okay, no attacks. So we could just get in with the Bloodletter. You could have the +2/+2, in which case it trades, which doesn't feel great. Like I could mark with the Vampire is what I meant there. We just offered a trade right now. I think we just play conservatively. We have a Mark of the Vampire. This is eventually going to flip. We could swing with it right now with the Dreadmaw. We could just equip and swing with this. That's a little bit of an interesting idea. Maybe I like that better. Get the Conqueror's Galleon online. Yeah. Oh, if he's got the Zeal, though, that feels kind of bad still. Yeah, I think I'm just going to wait. I guess we could swing right now and offer the trade with the Zeal. Feels a little bit bad. But we're going to have to play around it at some point anyway, if he has it. And if he doesn't have it, that's not a bad trade for us. Because I don't want him to use it to blow out our Dreadnought either. Alright, I think I am going to swing. Well, there's a lot of consideration there. Okay, no block. That means he does not have it, almost certainly. I don't think there's a world where you don't make that block if you have it. So no +2/+2 on first strike, at least initially. It's bad. Alright, so I guess we can wait though to crew, right? This doesn't keep that from happening. Okay, declare attacker step. Go ahead and block there. Take 3 down to 13. Frenzy Raptor. Okay. Okay, that was a good draw. So we can play... we almost have enough mana to make them all, but I want to be able to swing with the Mark first. We swing, take my opponent down to 9. But then we can't utilize this. Oh yeah, no, we can. We can always crew with that. Makes sense. And that flips into a land that we play both. Makes sense. So let's play their Mark. Oh, we need to queue up 2 black though. That's correct. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have another Pious Interdiction. Screw this guy. And then we start getting pretty good value pretty fast. And we're gonna empty our hand here. And play some blockers. So we can't effectively block the Monster Soar, but we can keep the Frenzied Raptor back. Pious Interdiction is probably the worst possible thing you can have, because we can't even get our card back with the Foothold then. But, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make a big Monster Soar. Or just a big Aerosaur. Probably a big Monster Soar and then a big Aerosaur for the trade, I had to guess. So right now we have 8 mana. Okay, interesting. Very aggressive. Don't think I love double blocking. Yeah, I think we'll just take it. Are we gonna trade there? Doesn't feel fantastically great. Does gain us a lot. Yeah, I don't think I like trading. Or throwing away a couple of hoarders. Well, maybe that was correct. This is gonna gain us a lot of advantage. Okay, Grazing Whiptail is great. So we have 8, right? This requires 5 to draw. Oh, well, I'd feel better if we'd utilize that, right? So I can swing, trade, gain a bunch of life. Oh, I guess he didn't equip, did he? Oh, I was gonna think he would. +2/+2, still a possibility. Why wouldn't he equip there? Yeah, as a combat trick. If it's +2/+2, that wouldn't be what he'd use, though. What would he have? Maybe he just made a mistake? What do you pay for 3 that's better? Lightning Strike? No? I can't think of anything. Alright, well I'm gonna get in with the Bloodletter. Let's see what he's got. And then play the Grazing Whiptail and probably equip it. Nothing. Yeah, must have been a mistake. Yeah, I think that must have just been a missed opportunity to move the Cutlass over, because trading there I think would have been much better for my opponent. Okay, well, managed to pick up match 1 pretty handily. Opponent had very, very slow draws, though. I think he was pretty unlucky. But happy to pick up the win. See you guys for match 2.